Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies and These Success Strategies. And today we are focused on the Thrive Challenge. So in prior sessions, we've talked about all of the different ways that you as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, mature organization executives, leader, middle manager, team leads, and SMEs can harness our scaling for seven-figure success framework to help you move forward. And today, we're going to go back to our roots, why that program was built, what are the different components of it, and what do we have to be thinking about going into the fourth quarter of 2023 as we're ascertaining where we're at, what we've been able to achieve. What is the bridge we need to build to that higher level of success, and how are we going to go about doing that? So I want to remind each and every person who's on the line today listening to this is that success is an inside out job. Without us doing the inner work to break through our own ceilings of success, we're never going to be able to achieve what other parties are telling you is possible, because you have to own that mentally, physically, and physiologically. And so what does that mean? How can we approach that? That means we have to be clear, we have to be in alignment, and we have to be driving momentum to enable us to achieve higher and higher and higher levels of performance. So it is all about you. It's how you show up. It's how you do business. It's what you're capable of envisioning for success. And it's how you work with each of the other organizational entities, partners, customers, clients, your team, executives. It's the world writ large that's going to enable you to springboard to your next level of success. So today we're going to go again back to the basics to focus on, if success is an inside out job, what do I have to be thinking about and doing in fourth quarter as I'm looking forward to further expanding our organizations, our results, our outcomes, further and deepening the collaboration and the innovation and the excellence and the improvement initiatives that we have on our plate, further scaling my business to greater levels of success. And so it really boils down to you and your why. We cannot break out of the box of your why and your ceiling. Only you can do that. And so today we're going to talk about a little bit about what is that customer journey look like for you, moving from your why, which is getting clear, into alignment and into higher levels of performance. So we have a 12-point discussion today, first and foremost, and the most important thing is knowing your why. I want to invite you, if you have not been here before, to simply look back through your life and understand what puts the fire in your belly. You may or may not be doing that today. You may not be stoking that fire. You may or may not have that as your cause. You may have taken someone else's template and recipe for success, tried to superimpose that over an organization or a business or an initiative, and you may or may not be getting some level of success, but it's not truly authentically you. So how do we take all the great things that are going on in the world, from an innovation, from a technology, from an AI, from an efficiency, a productivity and excellence and innovation and improvement perspective, and drive it back to you so that you can arrive at your springboard moment where you are in complete and utter alignment, and that the world is waiting for you to reach that point. When you know your why, there is no stopping you and your team, because you are going to have the fire in your belly. You're going to be able to drive the momentum forward. And most of all, you're going to be able to attract and create rocket boosters because of that passion and depth of purpose that you have. So I invite you, if you do not know your why, to start there. It is the key to the Thrive Challenge. The next you might say is, well, if I don't know my why, how in the heck do I even get there? Good thing, because there are so many creative and innovative persons and organizations out there. They have created canvases that will help you move forward. But before we get to our canvases, there's one other aspect of this clarity component to our three-legged stool for thriving and success, maximum success. Clarity, alignment, performance. On the clarity side, not only do you need to know your why, you need to know and assess your life priorities. Without that, we're not going to be able to help you gain the right level of momentum in the things that matter to you most at this point in time, in this period in your life. So again, we have to match and build bridges between what is your why, where is that fire in your belly, and then what are your current life priorities? You could do it twofold. I've seen great success in that. Here's my current state life priorities for today, but looking forward, I feel like I'm going to be shifting in this area. I have kids that are graduating from high school and going into college. I have kids that are graduating from college. I have elderly parents. I have a startup organization or I have a mature organization I'm going to sell. I have an exit strategy. I have a partner who I'm working with to offload some of this, right? So your priorities are not going to stay static. They're going to change as your life evolves. And the way that you operationalize and continue to ignite your why will change over time. First, because oftentimes we don't have an awareness, right? We have just tucked that fire away somewhere and said, this is the way it's done. This is the way my family, the community, the world, my universe, if you will, has stated we can be most successful. It's to do A and B and C and D, and that's the route you took. But now I'm asking you to rethink that. I'm not saying you're not going to be successful. I'm not saying you could get very far without that. But what I'm asking is you to look inside your head and your heart and with your hands and say, are you feeling it? Am I going in with a maximum passion? Am I going in with maximum purpose? Am I going in fired up every day because I'm loving what I'm doing? Or am I on Ottoman drive, right? If I put it on cruise control, and because I know how to do this and I've been doing it for so long, and people are rewarding me for doing that through success and impact and money, etc., that gets us far down the road, but it is not the entire recipe for success. So the clarity, great momentum builder, great longevity builder, and boy, does it put a scale factor in place for you, because you will be completely in your bullseye. You could call it the one thing. You could think about how Brian Tracy approaches his chunking. You can approach it from Darren Hardy's excellence, better every day. You can approach it from Brendan Burchard and his excellence framework that he follows for his innovators. You can approach it in many different ways, but if you go back to what each and every one of them are doing, it's about their why, how they want to impact the world. There's a couple constructs here. So you know your why, you assess your life priorities. If you don't know your why, this is this clarity canvas where it comes into place. We have a couple different choices. One, there is a construct that I love talking about because it is so very powerful. It is elegantly designed and is such a powerful envisioning mechanism for each and every one of you. So we're going to say there's 4 ways, easy ways to help get you there. The first is Vishen Alakiani's Buddha and the Badass construct called the 3 most important questions. If you just Google Vishen 3 MIQs, you're going to find a video, and you're also going to find the overview of what that looks like. He advocates doing it at the organizational level as well as the personal level, as well as with every single team member. Why? Because it helps you better understand you. It helps you better understand your organization and what your long-term vision is, because you may or may not have been there. So it may or may not even be in your vision statement, mission statement, goals, etc. Then once you've done that, we go to something called Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept called your reason for being, your reason for being. I cannot stress this enough. When we are not dialed into our why, there is a huge myriad of symptoms that happen with our health, with our wealth, with our family situations, with our communities, with everything else, when we are not truly in alignment. All those symptoms are an opportunity for you to have a wake-up call moment, but you don't have to get there. You don't have to experience that if you are proactively trying to dial in where your bullseye are in these canvases. So 3 MIQs, Ikigai. Ikigai has a canvas that you can leverage that helps you understand, what do you love doing? What are you great at? What will the world pay you for? And what is the drivers, the global drivers that are potentially constraining or enabling your achievement and success in that area? So I invite you, 3 MIQs, Ikigai canvas. Next, there is other business model canvases. So if you go to Strategizer, Google Strategizer and canvases, you will find many a business model canvas, a customer journey canvas, etc. Why does this matter? Is because oftentimes we have a great idea, but we haven't thought through the whole formula for success. And when we don't think about an organizational success or personal success holistically, we have a blind spot, and that blind spot comes back to bite us in the butt because we don't know what we don't know, and we've left some huge part of the equation for success out because we've never been there before, or we did not receive guidance on that before. We did not have a mentor that talked to us about that before. So the model canvases from Strategizer can really help you wrap your head around, what do I need to be thinking about as I'm moving from 0 to 100? Last but not least, I'm going to do a shout out to Mr. Will Holmes. WHC has a set of accelerator and entrepreneur programs. One of the key elements is something called a cash flow template that he uses. Why does this matter? Because he has actually implemented breaking through entrepreneur and solopreneurs and business leaders' ceiling for success through a way of envisioning and making them hungry for more success from a cash flow perspective. So talk about art. This is not only does it enable them to see success at a greater level, it helps them create a balanced portfolio of offerings, of active revenue, of passive revenue. It stokes them in, how can I build efficiencies? If I have my cash flows and I see black and white, my expenses far exceed my revenues, I either need to create new revenue streams or to basically undertake cost efficiency and cost savings mechanisms. It's black and white. It's huge. And one of the challenges he uses in his different programs is to go from $1 in revenues to $1 million. Then he's going to scale it $1 million to $3 million. Our program, or my program, is called Scaling for Seven-Figure Success. Same principles, slightly different operationalization mechanisms to help you get there. So if I could ask you to Google WHC cash flow templates, cash flow diagrams, I think you're going to get the gist of how powerful that is. So we want to do 3 MIQs because it grounds us in everything, that fire in your belly. We want to undertake the Ikigai canvas because that too is going to help you dial into what is the strongest bullseye for you. We want to harness the strategizer canvases because it helps us build that holistic look at whatever initiative we're building. If it's an organization, if it's a program, if it's a product, if it's a service, if it's other initiatives that don't quite rise to that level, it's going to help you understand how you can approach it from a receipt from your customer and a results standpoint. Then we're going to use our cash flows in order to help solidify and create this wonderful momentum, because if you can envision it through the cash flows, we can create a journey map for you to help you get there. And that's what the Thrive Challenge is all about, to help you scale to 7-figure plus success. Pick your number at the end, but what you need is the recipe for success to help get you. And each of these constructs will be a step in the right direction to your greater clarity and ultimately your stronger alignment. The next thing we want to do is really, once you've done your assessments, and there are many others, if you are very improvement and excellence and innovation oriented, you can go to the Baldrige site. And I invite you to take a mini assessment for your organization and your leaders. They have a role model leader assessment. They have other, how are we doing as leaders assessment? And most of all, how are you doing as an organization in order to maximize your excellence, innovation, and improvement? And ultimately what that does is it also provides a springboard for your organization, personal, professional, and organizational success. So I invite you to look at that body of knowledge, if you will. A couple other things with regard to enablers in that inside out job. One is Gay Hendricks and the Big Leap. This is a book that's going to teach you that what I was saying, that ceiling for success. It's going to teach you some techniques, what he calls the upper limit problem, right? Your own ceiling for success. We've got to break through that. And I was sharing the cash flow diagram is one way, harnessing the canvases is another, harnessing the frameworks that teach you how to go through and beyond is another. Each and every one of these techniques will bolster. You have to have it in, you have to be able to envision it in your mind, to bring it to life, to put it into practice, and then measure your performance against that. But the first thing is you have to understand, where has your internal success thermostat been at, and how much do you want to raise it by? That's going to, noting the gap between those two is going to help you better understand what tools are going to help you be more successful in that clarity going into alignment. So we want to use all of those tools to gauge what we call your overs and your unders, right? Where are you knocking it out of the park already? And then where do you need to really, I need new learning mechanisms, or I need to put a new technique in place, or I need accountability and support in this area to help me not only gain alignment, but stay in alignment and move into a place of maximum momentum to heighten your performance. So your over unders is really the gap where We are designating and spelling out in clear terms where your gap is. Another thing we didn't talk about in the early stages, and which I feel is important and I should share with you today, is your life priorities, right? Knowing your why, again, is that life priorities. You can do something called a life wheel. The life wheel is going to help you understand where's your priorities today, but also where is it going to be in the future. So I invite you, if you've never done a life wheel, to basically place a priority number on each of the various segments of your life for today, and then look forward 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and plant the flag for where you want to be going forward, given those life changes. I think that too will help you. That's also going to be one of the basis of our over-unders, right? I can know my why. I can be in alignment with my why. I can use these canvases and other mechanisms to help flesh that out, and I can put a map for success together. But if I'm not in alignment with my life priorities, I still will achieve suboptimal results, right? So we're trying to help you gain alignment holistically. You as a person, you as a professional, you as the driver of the organizational unit, right? So your organization unit it's just as important for you to have gone through this exercise there as well, because you are a big component of that. It doesn't matter if you're managing a set of companies, right? If you're a serial entrepreneur and you have 20, 50, 100, 250, whatever that looks like for you, it's still important for you to understand all of those same factors, so that you can drive greater momentum and success across that portfolio of organizational offerings. Same construct, you can scale it astronomically. So the next thing is, now that we've gained clarity, we know our over-unders, now we have to decide and commit to realignment. This is the key aspect of performance at higher and higher levels, is the moment, your aha moment, to say, well, holy moly, here's my why, here's my fire in my belly, not there. Here's my life priorities, not in alignment. Here's my clarity canvas and my over-unders. And yes, I have a gap. So now what is the opportunity space? It's for you to say, I'm going to be in a place, I'm going to move forward on realignment, right? I now understand why my success may not have been what I was envisioning, what I am aiming for, what my team has been working on for so long, right? Now I more fully understand where the gap is. Now we can move to a place of realignment. But the power in that moment is for you to decide and commit for it to be different, right? That is the key. Only when you decide and commit for it to be different can you then move to the next level of creating the journey map to help you build the bridge between where you're at and where you're going and where you want to be. So that is the key factor. And what I've seen to be the most powerful in that moment is you authoring 1 sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences to yourself with those exact words. I've learned X, I want to be at Y, I am deciding and committing to the achieval of Y, this date, your signature, signed in blood, right? Because it is your commitment level and your strong decisionings that's going to help you move forward. And again, I cannot state how powerful that is. You're going to feel your body change. You're going to feel your mental state change. You're going to move. That releasing of can't into can is one of the most powerful moments you will have in your life, other than, of course, achieving the outcomes. But I'm saying that decisional and commitment moment is the door and windows opening to the whole next phase of your life and your organization's level of success. You can plan for scaling a whole mountain range, multiple mountain ranges, and that's okay. It's the most important thing is you articulating that in writing, signing, dating, putting a blood spot, and you saying, I'm doing this. And that's the most important thing. Next, once you've reached that level of decision and commitment and you're raring to go, now we need a map. We need a journey map. Other people call it a treasure map. Other people call it their 10-year plan, 20-year plan. Other people call it their life. It's really a journey. Your success journey rarely is a straight line to say, I'm going from here to there, easy peasy, done. Let's just move out. It's really about you understanding the multifaceted aspects of your lives and your business so that you could understand what is my life priorities? How do I not only go after my organizational outcomes and results, but stay true to the life priorities and commitments that I want to make in all of those areas. So we create a success journey map. And then we ask you to action it every week. There is a Darren Hardy construct called the Sunday Planning System that has you examine the top 3 goals aligned to your life priorities every Sunday night so that your next week, your next day, your next hour can be as excellent and fueled with success as possible. The next thing, now that you've made your journey map, is again accountability. So using the Darren Hardy Sunday planning system, using Brendan Burchard's journaling methods, using his Growth Day app, using Brian Tracy's phenomenal books and frameworks for success, harnessing the MIQs to make sure, are you on track? One of the things we didn't talk about is making the MIQs for your organization and your teams or your family or your community or your organizational members transparent, and asking for each and every one of those persons involved to help the other person achieve their MIQs. Why does that matter? Because A, it's transparent. 2, it's building trust across entities. 3, you're making yourself accountable because you're posting it publicly. And 4, you're working at it from a place of collaboration and co-creation and commitment to helping each other achieve those outcomes. So accountability, whether that looks like a mentor, whether that looks like a coach, whether you, in addition to the transparent MIQs and that construct I just used, I would ask that you be part of a group, be part of something bigger than yourself to help keep you accountable to the things you put in your Sunday planner, to your family commitments, to community commitments, etc. That you check in at least once a week with some other party that's not yourself, so that you can share, here's what I said I'm going to do, here's what I was able to do, here's my gap, I'm either over or under, here's, I need to talk about what occurred, if something occurred, and then I need a plan of attack for the next week so that I can go further, faster. So accountability, huge, be it a group, be it one, be it a small peer group, but it needs to be people that will positively push you forward. The next is again, in tandem with accountability is the power of associations, right? How do you create the surround sound that's positively going to enable your further success? I'm going to offer that so often, there is a saying, we get not what we deserve, but what we will put up with. When you no longer put up with people, comments, cultures, environments that do not serve your dreams, that do not serve your why, that do not serve your ultimate success, that is, again, the second most powerful day of your life, is to shed, to prune, to let go of, to shield from. Sometimes at this moment, we cannot commit to putting ourselves in a bubble that no one else can ever affect our trajectory, right? So what we have to put in place is a commitment to understanding in every interaction, in every environment, with every partnership, with every undertaking, how are we feeling? Is this enabling us and exciting us to take on greater and greater and greater amounts of success? Are we being bolstered? Are we being positively challenged? Are we being held accountable? Are we surrounding ourselves with innovative improvement, excellent, success-oriented people? And if the answer is no, again, the second most powerful day of your life is when you say, I need to let this thing that no longer serves me go. It could be a person, it could be an opportunity, it could be a relationship, it could be something that you once held dear, but when you share where you're at, where you're going, what's going on, and if they cannot make the hairpin turn with you, you need to let them go, because they will not be additive to your success, and you cannot reach the level of success if you're hanging on to everything that you've collected over your journey to date. Again, the art of backpacking, mountain climbing, nature survival, right, is you go with the lightest amount of things possible to help you go further, faster. You have to worry about your own self. What are you using to make sure you're maximizing your success? And the surround sound you're getting from any of those elements is one of the most important things you can do to protect yourself and bolster yourself to move forward. So not only do you do that for yourself, bookend your day, meditate, read, learn, bolster, get yourself centered and excited about taking on your mission space, but the people and the thoughts and the comments and the mechanisms that are used are in your control. So you decide, are you going to let things that are not making you feel expansive and excited into your world? I think not. I would put that out there. Again, the second most powerful day of your life, when you decide to and commit to pruning those things that are no longer serving you and your success. Next, scaling for greater success. It's not only about all of the things we talked about in steps 1 through 8. It's really about understanding where your blind spots in. Again, that's the power of the canvases. That's the power of accountability. It's the power of associations. That's the power of you trying different things on your journey map to see what's going to be most efficient and effective for your success going forward. So scaling for greater success means we're putting into action all of the things that are in the Scaling for 7-Figure Success Plus. I also invited you to use the cash flow template. I also invited you to use the 3 MIQs. I also invited you to use a life wheel or a life assessment. I also invited you to use the different canvases, the Ikigai canvases and the different business model canvases or business canvases to help you, right? Because that's the thing that helps us get a holistic look. We need to begin to realize that at every point, at every juncture that we are moving forward within, there's going to be things we know, things we don't know, things we know we don't know, and things we don't know we don't know. We don't want that blind spot to bite us in the butt later. We want to be able to be proactive about harnessing our associations and harnessing other knowledge and intelligence that exists in the ecosystem so that we don't have that blind spot any longer. In the age of AI and ML, in the age of information and intelligence on demand, I invite you to use your Sunday planning system or other like mechanism to give yourself time to learn and to grow. Every single day, some part of that day is just for you to get a better foothold on what's going on within your ecosystem so you can leverage it and use that to springboard forward if it is in alignment with your why and your organizational outcomes and results. Or if you noted that you have placed an artificial ceiling for success on yourself because you didn't know about that technique, you didn't know about that opportunity, you didn't see that occurring in the global ecosystem, and then it's quite often, again, we have that aha moment from, again, one of those don't know, we didn't know, now resolved. You can see the landscape for success moving forward shifts again astronomically up because of that new knowledge, intelligence, and new ceiling that you can now see for your organization and your own success. So how do we get there? We know that we have this body of knowledge, but now we have to put it into action. So number 10 is bridging the gap. I need to take the journey map I created. I needed to relook at my life priorities. I need to look at the canvas, and then I need to craft a plan forward, right? The journey map was at a certain point in time. Now I need to spend a little effort on what did I learn from my accountability buddies? What did I learn from my master successful associations? What did I learn from the learning that I'm gleaning from scaling for greater success? And now I need to bridge the gap again, because you are a continuous success in motion. This Thrive Challenge is for you to know that every single day you have the opportunity to make an astronomical exponential breakthrough in your thinking, internal physiology that's going to enable you to spring forward again, right? This is, again, that success line is just not a straight line going up forever. It's these key pivotal moments where you gleaned enough information that you could see far beyond the success ceiling in that journey map that you made in step 6. So 10 is really, how hungry are you for the next level of success? Putting in place what you've recently learned since the drafting of your original journey map. What do I need to do different to scale higher? And then, of course, in 11, we're going to put into place. It's one thing to read about, learn about, see other mechanisms for success be put into place and being executed and having them achieve results in other people's organizations, in other areas of the world, in other industries. But it's another thing to make a plan to exponentially exceed your original estimates, and then actualizing on that. So step 11, continuous improvement. We can think of that as innovation in action. We can think about that as excellence in action. The ultimate gist of that is go beyond what you initially thought was possible. How can I rethink this? How can I relook at this? How can I harness all of the things that I'm learning in my everyday associations, in my accountability spheres, in what I'm learning out in intelligence and strategic foresight that's being published by very many organizations? How can you then put that into action? So I invite you today to think about, so clarity, alignment, and now performance, greater and greater performance. Where do you think the biggest hurdle is right now to exponentially growing your next stage of success? I'll invite you to read 2 books. There is the author Dan Sullivan has 2 books that really help us learn, other than Gay Hendricks' The Big Leap and Overcoming Your Upper Limit Problem to Success. There are 2 books that really help us shift our own mindset, which is key to helping us be able to shift our organizational scaling for success or expansion. And that is Who, Not How. And it's easier to 10x than 2x. So I invite you, if you've not had a chance to read those by author Dan Sullivan, key to rethinking how you approach scaling for success, key to how you approach creating trusted partnerships, key to helping you think through what formulaic quantitative method can I use to gauge and understand when I need to delegate something to another party, be that an employee, a partner, a contractor, etc. Because it's in those moments where we, again, decide and commit that we're going for scale, that you will learn to be not only your best selves, but grant the permission to your organization to scale and achieve at newer heights. I hope these 12 steps, again, the last being a rinse and repeat, you are on a success journey on this Thrive area. Again, it's an inside out job. It doesn't ever end. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I invite you today to undertake your success journey using this as your map. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, the Success Strategy, wishing you much success as you move along your own success journey.